Whether you've met LindaKarstStone or not, I think you're going to really enjoy this next part of our virtual celebration online. Linda is a world-renowned scrimshaw artist, and this year, since we can't all be together, has graciously invited us into her home to show us the process behind making this year's large Stockman, One Nation Under God, limited to only 20 pieces. So come along. I think you're going to really enjoy this.
Hello and welcome everyone. My name is LindaKarstStone. I'm a scrimshaw artist and it's been my job since I've been a teenager. And I've been at it a long time and I've been working with Shepherd Hills and the Reed family for over 20 years now. And not being able to come to the celebration is a real disappointment. And we thought that we would try to do something a little special. I'm hoping to show you the process of how I get the case knives and how we turn them into the series. So this is my home here in the Texas Hill Country, and I'm gonna invite you back to my studio here. It's a pretty small room. It gets the morning sunlight in here, and I'm lucky that scrimshaw doesn't take up very much room, so I work over here in the corner. So come on with me. The project I'm going to be showing you today, we're calling One Nation Under God, and it's an eagle design. And the way we always start is Shepherd Hills sends me direct from the case factory knives that I have in inventory. I unbox them and unwrap them, and I put a layer of wax on them so that the ink that I'm doing doesn't soak down into the bone. So I kind of start with a blank canvas, and then I choose just one of the pieces. This time I chose this knife. This was my very first one. And I got out all of my inspiration photographs, things from books and magazines and eagles that I saw up in Alaska, and some from the Great Lakes area where my parents live. So I kind of get those all around me, and I draw it on until I'm happy with the drawing. And I individually scrimshaw this one first knife, and I do it until the black is completely done. And that's going to be the model for the rest of the series. And this one, I was only going to make a one of one, and I liked it so much that I called Randy and asked if we could do 20 of them, and he said go for it. So, so the rest of the knives, you might have wondered how I get them to look so similar to each other, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So when this knife is completely finished, I take a photograph of it, and then I put it in the computer, and I blow it up really large so that I can see each and every one of the lines that I've scrimshawed. And then I also put it in the computer and shrink it down really small and reverse the image. So I get a piece like this. This is in reverse. And then I cut them out into little pieces. And when I have those pieces cut out, I'm going to do what is called an acetone transfer. So this is just a blank knife. I take the piece of paper that's been printed just on the laser printer. I line it up with the knife, and I apply, this is acetone, regular fingernail polish remover. And what it's doing is it's loosening the ink on the other side of the paper. Scratch that on there. Press very gently. Sometimes this transfers well and sometimes it doesn't, but hoping for this demonstration it will cooperate. And I peel it up. And if it works, I'm left with an image of the drawing I had done. And then I just have to follow my lines and keep scrimshawing. So when I've got it that far, I take it over to my desk here, and I have to change from my regular reading glasses to my, these are called mag eyes. They have a more powerful magnification, so I can see what I'm doing. And, so this is my scribe. It's a carbide steel tip point. It's just a rounded point. Nothing mechanical about it. I just hold it in my hand, and I actually start scratching the lines into the bone handle. So this lump of clay that is it, this is just modeling clay with this piece of saran wrap so that the clay doesn't go down into the sides of the knife. And I just start following the lines that are there from the transfer. I don't know if you can hear that, but I am actually digging down into the bone and removing little pieces. I think of these as big gouges, and the ink, when I apply that, is going to sink down into those lines, and that's what's going to leave a positive image of the scrimshaw. Depending on how closely I follow my lines is how close each one of the knives will look to each other. So the etching process is just a series like that, scratching the lines, ink getting in, and I keep scratching until all of these lines are actually scratched down in the knife. So scratching and scratching, and then I would ink the piece. And for the demonstration purposes today, we're lucky to have the other 19 of the series here. So they start with the acetone transfer. These pieces just have the acetone on them, and then I do start etching it in. These have some scratches but aren't inked yet. And this one, I've kind of done an outline of everything, and I've started, this has been inked the first time, but you can see it doesn't have near enough detail in it. So then it's just a process of going back, each one at a time, each hand scratched, and adding more and more detail, adding the feathers, making the lines line up, making sure I've got the eyeball correct and that kind of thing. So just adding more and more detail. I keep doing that until I'm actually done and happy with all of the black. I do all 20 knives in black at one time, and then until that's finished. And then the next step is deciding on the color. For the color, you scratch in the lines the same way. You just apply colored ink instead of the black ink onto the lines. And this is our finished One Nation Under God piece. And you can see the little blue line here. That's intentional. That's supporting our first responders and our police. And One Nation Under God, with liberty and justice for all. And we thought this was a really important piece right now. So anyway, I'm hoping that knowing the process a little bit more, you might enjoy your scrimshaw knife that much more. And I'm glad you had a chance to come to my studio today. And I want to thank my handsome cameraman. As probably you've guessed, that's my husband, Mark Stone. There he is. We wish we could be with you, but we all have reasons to celebrate every day. And please just keep counting your blessings, and I hope we see each other again very soon. Love you all. Bye.